Folks, I'm getting hungry, and you know my favorite part of any meal, snack, or game day app? That's right. The GOAT, or should I say the greatest of all time, Frank's Red Hot. It's got the perfect blend of flavor and heat that elevates all foods, from wings to buffalo chicken dip to even ice cream. That's right, I said ice cream. And with a roster of flavors, from OG to sweet chili, you can put that shit on everything. So make every dish the greatest and eat the GOAT.
Every day at Sierra, you'll find top brand apparel, footwear, and gear for 20 to 60% less than department and specialty store prices. And during clearance time at Sierra, those incredible prices are 40 divided by 2.5, carry the 1, even lower. And when you shop clearance at Sierra, you can save a whole lot more on everything you need to get active and outside. That's a lot of saving. Epic brands, vast selection, teeny tiny prices. That's Sierra. Visit your local Sierra store today or shop online at sierra.com.
Radio Mambí, La Grande.
What does it take to win that championship that you guys are talking about? It takes men.
I love you, Miami! I'm hurt, dog!
Así viene sandwich, man.
Joaquin said dominate!
This is what it takes to wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Revenga!
Ay, San Lázaro bendito.
Let's go, you! Let's go, man! Dale.
Ya tu sabe. This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
The longest tenured coach in the AFC East is now Mike Vrabel. Whoa. Yeah, that was a little over 300 days ago, 350 days ago that Vrabel was hired. McDermott's record is crazy. This kind of coach usually doesn't get fired when I put this in front of you. 98-50, 2 AFC title game appearances, 5 AFC East titles, a winning percentage of .662. That ranks 15th of all time, 3rd among active coaches, and here's the killer. He took over a team that hadn't made the playoffs in 18 years. 18 years they had not made the playoffs, and now he is fired. And the reason he's fired is because he's got a great quarterback, and all his players are crying in the locker room because they lost again.
But also, didn't he survive because he has the superhero quarterback, Josh Allen? And I have long contended that there is no head coach who would be exposed more quickly without that superhero quarterback than Sean McDermott.
Well, Josh Allen is the reason they were in the game, and he's also the reason they lost the game. You cannot turn the ball over that way. You saw what the champion Eagles were doing with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts didn't have that many turnovers over a 10-game spread because I thought they had coached the reckless out of Josh Allen.
He was awful yesterday.
And well, he was awful down the field, okay, but he did complete the one that was ruled an incompletion. Like the Brandin Cooks thing shouldn't be an interception to me, but let's just get to the crying Bills in the locker room because we've got a number of them. Let's start with Josh Allen.
How hard is it to just get here again and have this happen?
It's extremely difficult. I feel like I let my teammates down tonight.
Now, his teammates took that comment really hard. They felt bad for him taking all the blame. Here is Dion Dawkins, his right tackle.
Simply that. I hate to keep it short, but we love you. You know, we're thankful for him.
He said he feels like he let you guys down. How do you react when your quarterback who's done so much for you says that to you guys?
He let us down.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And here is Brandin Cooks, who has been with the team all of 6 weeks.
Felt like so heavy on him. I mean, emotional, just coming out to the podium.
Yeah.
What was it like seeing him like that?
I think we all feel that way, you work so hard. Personally, just so thankful to be a part of this. And I look back and like, man, what could I have done to be able to alleviate some of that pressure?
I know what he could have done.
From him. You just love this game so much. And when you come up short like this, it's gonna sting for a long time. There's no next week.
Dan, does somebody want to tell him what he could have done?
I think you just did. Mark Sanchez has 4 road playoff wins. Josh Allen has 1. Last week was the first time that Josh Allen had a playoff game-winning drive at the end of the game. The last 3 Bills seasons have ended losing the game by 3 points, and Josh Allen has a chance at the end to win the game and has the ball in his hands and hasn't done what needs to be done so that he creates one of those forever moments.
Per Scott Kazmar, it's going to take Josh Allen at least 8 playoff appearances to reach his first Super Bowl. It's never been done before. Anyone who had been to 7 playoff appearances had reached the Super Bowl at least once.
Wow.
The things that happened in that game were stunning, and it kept going right until after the game, where I can't in my memory remember a coach coming to a press conference and announcing something that none of us knew, and he did it because the players had already left and he didn't want them to learn like somewhere else, so he wanted to immediately say it because I didn't realize that he was that kind of injured. Did you guys realize that Bo Nix was any kind of injured? I know he was limping, but at this time of year, every single person who's playing that sport is limping, so I did not have that kind of cataclysmic situation where you got Stidham starting a game for the Broncos. He started all of 4 games, and the only reason he started those 4 games is because the team was wanting to sit Derek Carr and who was it? Oh, it was Russell Wilson, just to save the money is the only reason. He hasn't started in 750 days, and he's only started 4 games, and now he's got to play the Patriots in a game at home because Bo Nix is injured. And the story of the weekend, indisputably, that game last night was great. But the story of the weekend is Josh Allen loses. It's not anybody winning. It's not anyone else losing. It's just Josh Allen losing.
I agree with you. It's a shame that the refereeing, which I think is in fact the story of the weekend, and the complaining coming off of it. But absolutely, you're right, Dan. And I've argued with Mina Kimes' name drop many, many times about QB wins in the postseason, not just mattering, but them being everything. And people want to talk their way around it because of small sample sizes and the advanced analytics. But you just saw in the locker room how important these games are. These few moments you get, and the guys involved in it want to talk their way around it because they're incented to. They don't want all that pressure on their shoulders that it all comes down to. The way we regard Josh Allen, not just right now, but in 20 years from now and in 50 years, is did he get over the hump and did he win the title? People want to say, Josh Allen is better than blank and all of that. Also, I know that what the conversation will be coming out of this one. In fact, today, they just fired the head coach as a result of that loss. By the way, let's keep in mind all those tears from the Bills, guys. This is after a divisional round game. They didn't even get close to the Super Bowl, and they're weeping like this. Josh Allen, along with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, count them all up, C.J. Stroud. The idea that Dan Marino is a one-off, the only guy never to get a Lombardi, Marino Island is now going to be overrun over the next decade with these high-end quarterbacks who may get a gold jacket but ain't going to get no Lombardi.
Some of this stuff can be random, right? Drake May has more fumbles than anybody who plays quarterback, but you've got to lose the fumbles, and you got to lose the games for people to remember. C.J. Stroud just had a disaster playoffs that no one's ever had. That many fumbles in the first game.
So bad.
No, but no one's ever had. No quarterback has ever had the last 2 games in the playoffs that C.J. Stroud had, where he's got 5 fumbles in the first game. He's turning the ball over like a lunatic over the weekend.
I think he had 7 turnovers in the 2 playoff games? What?
Well, he didn't lose a couple of the fumbles because that was happening. That's happened a lot to Drake May, and it's going to happen to him against Denver because that pass rush is going to get to him. But the thing that happened in the Broncos-Bills game, never mind the officiating for a second, okay, even though pass interference makes me crazy in that sport. All of these teams are trying to get 4 yards, dying to get 4 yards, and then every once in a while you just chuck it up and get 45 of them. It's dumb. Like
it's the worst penalty in sports.
And then, put it in the hands of an old guy running next to the play. That's a good idea.
Why does college have it right and the NFL doesn't?
If you go back to 15, then you have guys that'll just be, it's a 40-yard pass. I'm just going to hit him.
Okay, whatever, but you're assuming that he's going to catch the ball, and now you just ended that team's season by making it a spot foul because you're sure he would have caught the ball. On a call, by the way, which is subjective.
Should it be like porn?
I don't want to see it.
You just judge it. You're like, that one feels like a 20-yarder.
There was another pass interference that should have been called on a Brandin Cooks play that wasn't. There is some randomness to the Bills losing that game, but this part's not random because he didn't have the receivers this year. On deep passes, Bo Nix was 3 for 4 for 80-plus yards and 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen was 0 for 9. Just couldn't do anything down the field. Against Jacksonville, they kept asking him to be Superman, and he was, and it was a big ask to ask him to do it again. But he had the ball in overtime. He had the ball toward the end of the game in moments matter, in the moments that mattered, and he didn't make the plays that you remember. So what you're going to remember from that game is him crying in the or crying at the press conference afterward because he clearly cares and he's clearly broken, and now he's got the stigma on him of he can't win that one. That's on him now. And I don't think that's real based on what I saw yesterday. He made the throw that Brandin Cooks has to make the catch on so they get the field goal and win the game.
He also missed a couple. In regulation, he had Brandin Cooks and
he
overthrew
had Kincaid as well. And yes.
Underthrew a guy too. Look, I love Josh Allen. He's great.
Why do you love Josh Allen?
Because I wish I had him. Are you kidding me?
Drake May had 4 fumbles yesterday. Nobody will remember it.
Chris has been seduced, as so many have, like a lot of the talking heads we listen to, by the biggest brand names. And there's a momentum behind Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and all of these guys. The fact is, though, that as Jeremy just alluded to with that number about the unlikelihood of Josh Allen ever getting to a Super Bowl now, the guys who go to the Super Bowl, I can keep pounding the table about this. This is not advanced analytics. This is readily available stuff. If I can tap into it, so can everybody else. The guys who go to the Super Bowl, the quarterbacks in the QB league who do it in this century, are the guys on their first contract who are the real deal. It's why I said Bo Nix or Drake May was going to the Super Bowl, and one of them will essentially go to the Super Bowl. And I said the teams with the byes are obviously going to advance.
Okay, is this and I told you so? Listen to all the things I got right on
Yes,
Football
that's
America.
exactly
Okay,
right.
we don't need
yes,
that.
that's exactly what I'm doing,
We
Dan.
celebrate the things we get wrong around here, not the things we
Josh
get right.
Allen
That's pardon the interruption.
8-7 in the postseason. Okay, 4 of those losses are to Patrick Mahomes.
It's not a bad record, by the way. 8-7.
No, in the postseason, it's pretty solid. You're playing the best teams, and you're over 500 in 15
perfectly
games.
Respectable record.
And this last game, that's the first time in one of those losses where he's thrown multiple interceptions. It's not like he's been this dreadful quarterback always turning the ball over in those games.
He's not the reason they lose. Like Lamar Jackson can be the reason that the Ravens lose in the playoffs. It's until yesterday or Saturday, it has not been Josh Allen as the reason why the Bills lost.
But Zaz, this is the way this stuff sticks to you, okay? In the divisional round, Mahomes is 7-0. Josh Allen is 2-4. That's how that stuff sticks to you. He plays in the era of Mahomes. Mahomes in the divisional round never loses that game. And Josh Allen loses it 3/4 of the time.
Best thing that ever happened for Tom Brady was he was largely a passenger on the way to that first Super Bowl, and in fact, Drew Bledsoe does some of the heavy lift for him in that postseason. But he has that thing taken off of him before it ever even gets started by winning that Super Bowl against the Rams. That there is pressure. These guys have a different sense of self, different level of confidence than I'll ever have, and I'll always envy it because of their physical attributes, but they want to talk their way around the fact that that these moments have a massive amount of pressure on their shoulders. It is the curse of Sposta. Josh Allen knows he has to get it done. What? The curse of Sposta. When you're the guy, when you're the team that's supposed to get it done, there's extra pressure.
What is
on
the
you.
curse of Sposta? I've not heard that phrase before, and it did sound like it was curse of Spolstra.
That's where we all went.
What is that?
Not Spolstra. No, I understand the confusion
supposed
down here.
to.
You're supposed to. When you have the curse of Sposta on you, it adds extra weight on your shoulders.
You know
about
have a
that
crazy
Sposta?
vocabulary. Like a crazy vocab. Are you a word of the day guy?
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for tripping the entire show.
Damn it, Shet! Tripped the whole show?
Wow. Yeah, we didn't know what you were talking about.
Our penalties are oddly specific.
In sports, championships aren't won alone. They're won with the right people around you. That's exactly what Intuit TurboTax brings to taxes. With TurboTax Expert Full Service, matched with a dedicated tax expert who handles your taxes from start to finish. The experience is seamless. Start in person, finish online, move between both whenever needed. The dedicated tax expert keeps things updated every step of the way so nothing falls between the cracks. Think of it like having a great head coach with a solid game plan. The plays are called, adjustments are made, and the work gets done while everyone stays focused on what actually matters. And just like game film doesn't wait for business hours, neither do taxes. With TurboTax Expert Full Service, you can get any tax question answered at no extra cost, even on nights and weekends during tax season. This is having someone in your corner running the whole operation and helping put points on the board. Get started at TurboTax.com. Only available with Intuit TurboTax Full Service experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Hello, listeners. You know that I live in Miami, which means my idea of quote-unquote winter is just putting on a hoodie or a cardigan and acting like I've suffered. But every time that I travel somewhere that's actually cold, I'm reminded that my wardrobe is completely and utterly unprepared. But that right there is where Quince comes in. I also realized that if I'm going to be on camera for broadcast gigs, I probably shouldn't look like I just grabbed whatever was closest to the door. Quince makes clothes that deliver premium materials, thoughtful design, and pieces that hold up season after season after season after season. And particularly with Quince, their outerwear has been the thing that's especially impressed me. Those down jackets, wool coats, Italian leather, and folks, that cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, looks great, and somehow doesn't cost what you'd expect. Trust me, I am the only one on this show who actually dresses to impress, and Quince is what's now helping me do it. Refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Dan for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Dan. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Dan.
All right, kicking things off with Smirnoff, the official vodka sponsor of the NFL and the number one vodka in the world. Chris Cody, you're here.
Smirnoff!
Wow, you're on the money with Smirnoff.
Smirnoff!
Chris, you know what goes great with Smirnoff?
Smirnoff!
Yes, but I'm really talking about the game day fit. The style's got to match the vibe.
Smirnoff!
All right, here's the deal. Game day is everything, and that's exactly why your fit has to match the occasion.
Smirnoff!
Starting this December, Smirnoff is giving fans 21 and over the chance to score limited edition Smirnoff commission merchandise from some of today's top creators, including Kayla Jones, Gavin Matthew, and Aleli May.
Smirnoff!
Here's the kicker. One lucky fan will take home the grand prize, a trip to the biggest game of the offseason. Plus, one fan will win Aleli May's one-of-one game day jacket.
Wow.
The merch will be dropped on select dates from December to January 21, and it's all courtesy of what brand?
Smirnoff!
That's right, Chris. Fans 21 and over can head to Smirnoff socials to learn how to sign up. And don't forget to grab a bottle of Smirnoff vodka, number 21 at your local retailer.
Smirnoff!
Please drink responsibly.
Smirnoff!
Number 21 vodka distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anybody under legal drinking age.
Smirnoff!
No purchase necessary. Must be legal U.S. resident, 21 or older. Sweepstakes starts 12/15/2025 at 12 a.m. Eastern and ends 1/23/2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. See official rules at program website.
Don Batard. John Zaslow. How you love that catchphrase. Bad news for opposing teams in the Triple-A. Stugotz. He's all smiles till the Bronx are clutch again. Clutch again. Clutch again. This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
The things that are random here that are interesting to me on postseason sample sizes, the Bears were the best defense in the league at causing turnovers this year, 33 turnovers. Didn't cause one in the postseason, not one. Caleb Williams, 7 times this season. He wins a game when trailing at the 2-minute warning. Not yesterday, even though he had one of the most amazing goal-to-go plays you will ever see in the history of the sport, running 26 yards backwards. I had the misfortune of seeing that play. Of hearing that play on the radio because I was driving. I had to get somewhere, and so I had to leave, and I didn't get to see the play. And it was Kevin Harlan and Ross Tucker.
Must have been amazing.
Well, it was amazing to hear them punctuate the entire play with Ross Tucker just screaming, "I love love football. But
were you like me too?
But I didn't. Well, no, I didn't totally understand what had happened though, because it didn't make any sense to me that Caleb Williams was at the goal line and then was throwing it from his 45. And so they were trying to describe it, but it was nearly impossible to describe as it was happening because it was happening too fast. And then all of a sudden, who's in the end zone? Of course, we all had this Cole Kmet. That of course, somehow the ball is thrown perfectly 45 yards. There's a DB there. He's right there. And it just goes 2 yards over his head.
It's unbelievable. He's backpedaling when he throws it. And yes, you give Caleb Williams credit for an unbelievable play, but it's not like Kmet was open when he threw it. It's just like, I'm going to toss it to this part of the end zone, and hopefully my guy can catch it.
The ball went 51 yards in the air. It's a 14-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And he did that while running backwards to the only spot in the end zone where that could happen.
He's so good.
By the way, to the tight end that didn't just break all the records for all of those receiving yards. That's Colston Loveland.
That's their blocking tight end, Cole Kmet. So Lucy is in town. Lucy is, this is what makes it a big game. And Lucy has a top 5 list for us of the top 5 things she misses about Miami. Like, I think the top 100 list of things she doesn't miss about Miami would have a lot of OLIs, but the top 5 things she misses about Miami. Do you have any OLIs, or are we just going to start with number 5?
I have one OLI. This was a very difficult list to put together. I have to be honest. I had to ask Chris for help because I was like, I've run out. We had 2 things on the list. I said, well, that's it. And I know it's a top 5.
Well, I know you miss this weather. I know you do.
No, I didn't even put that on the list.
I bet you do, though. You got to miss this weather.
Today's
cold.
To
be honest, like right now it's really nice, but the rest of the year I don't miss it even a little bit. Like, I don't like
OLI!
Okay. All right, my OLI. I miss you all.
OLI.
Didn't make the top 5.
I get that, though.
You struggled to come up with 5.
Mike's energy
not
was a little
make the
crazy.
top 5.
Thank you for putting us all in there in just a blanket.
Number 5. I miss how cheap the Ubers are. They're so cheap. They're so affordable. Compared to New York, the Ubers here, they're cheap.
Whoa.
Really nice.
That's crazy.
Okay. Number 4. The coffee shop over there. This one? It's called Boby?
It's good.
It's really good. Pistachio matcha latte there. Can't recommend enough.
What's going on with your voice? Have you partied this weekend? What's going on?
So I went to Las Rosas this weekend, Mike's bar, which was so much fun. And a certain coworker of mine that may or may not have been pepper sprayed was chain smoking cigarettes and was blowing the smoke into my face.
It was jarring to look at.
Rose?
Chain smoking.
And she was blowing it right into my face. And I specifically was like, hey, I have to talk this week. Like, I'm not going to be smoking any cigarettes. I did not. And she was blowing the smoke into my face, and now I have vocal fry.
None of us knew that Rose was a chain smoker.
Oh, I actually did know. She does this on the
I knew that she might have the occasional when she's having a nice time, but something about Saturday night, chain smoking.
Yeah, and I specifically said, hey, I'm not going to partake because I have to, I have a job to do. You're welcome.
Rose caused you to lose your voice?
She blew all the smoke into my face the whole night. Someone came up to me at the bar and said, hey, your friend needs to chill. She's blowing their smoke everywhere.
Wow.
Number 3.
Number 3. I miss the murals and the color here.
That's a good time to put up Tony on the screen as he's arrived at La Casa de los Trucos, and you can see behind him, you can see some of the mural and the color back there as he pantomimes chain smoking. We'll get to Tony in a second.
I think Rose is with him, right? You need to watch out.
Yeah, we need to find out.
You should get a mask.
If she's there, Tony, you interview her.
Yeah, Tony, we need you to interview Rose on what it is that she was doing chain smoking. We'll get to that in a second. Number 2, number 3, number 2?
Lucy,
Number 2.
Does Miami have a color scheme? It feels
it's
like
like neon and bright, and I love those colors. It's very I really genuinely do miss it. It's a lot of pink and blue and green.
Yeah,
they're bright.
Pink is the color I most associate.
Very,
New Orleans has green, gold, and purple.
Yeah, from Mardi Gras.
Pittsburgh
but Miami
has black and gold.
It's all just like really beautiful, bright colors. And I really like that. So, and that's genuine.
Art Deco pastels. Number 2.
Number 2. Babysitting Mike Ryan's daughter. Love her. She's such a good time. She was pretty much my only friend here, which is kind of why I had to leave. It was part of the problem. But she's delightful. We never hung out.
Yeah, it's true.
And number 1. Ready? The cafecito, depending on the day. Can't do it every day.
That last part.
The first time I ever had that, when I drove home, I couldn't stop honking. I was honking at everybody, and like no one was doing anything wrong. And I was like, why do I keep honking at them? And I was like, I gotta chill out with this.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Does the cafecito make you honk at everyone? You guys know the University of Miami has a cafecito coordinator, correct?
Oh, that's cool. Like a full-time, that's their job?
Well, I don't think it's a
Is it
full-time
on LinkedIn?
job. But
Full-time benefits and everything.
I don't think it's a full-time job, given that they just give shots to the players right before the game. But it should be an illegal substance. Like it should be something that they test for and that you're not allowed to play football on, because if it makes Lucy honk like a crazy person in traffic,
we can see the UM defensive line here before a game.
It's just uppers.
It's why Xavier Lucas got targeting call. It's because he was extra violent from the cafecito, but the cafecito coordinator is not a full-time job.
Yeah, they're taking a shot of the Cuban coffee, and then they are the coverage team on the kickoff.
Crimes being committed out in the open. I have to give a shout out to what I miss from Miami and when I get excited. This is my 3rd visit now. And
the garlic rolls?
I get no. I understand that that's the association people make now with me. It's the pizza and vice versa in the hotel. And when I hear, oh, you're on your way back to Miami, the first thought is, look, I'm going to meet up with my old pal, that spicy pizza and vice versa in the hotel. Ooh la and la. I already had one. I may have 3 or 4 more before I head back.
Dave Damashek will be a part of the live stream tonight.
We are
going to go live at about 7:30, and we're going to watch the game together. We're going to go to Tony live outside the La Casa de los Trucos in a moment. Can you look up something for me, though, Jeremy? The Texans, obviously, when Schultz goes out yesterday, they're already down Nico Collins and Trent Brown. Trent Brown is 6'8", 380 pounds. Is there a larger human being than that in the NFL? Is there anyone larger than 6'8", 380 pounds? Because that's part of the reason that the Texans were having all sorts of problems. The Texans' defense was great yesterday. Before that booty catch, he didn't catch it with his booty. He caught it with his one hand. It's the first one-handed catch Booty has had all season. And before that, that was the worst offensive performance by EPA that an offense had in the playoffs since 2000. The Patriots were terrible before that catch, and that catch was amazing, an all-time memory moment for the Patriots, especially done against Stingley, who doesn't allow much of anything. That was a crazy good catch. I don't even understand how he caught that ball, given the aerodynamics and the physics of what was happening there.
So, 2 things here. Booty has 2 deep ball catches against Singletary in the last 2 years, that one, and another last year. There have been 2 other deep balls caught against Singletary.
Stingley, right? Stingley.
Yeah, sorry, Stingley. That's my fault. That's a fine. I'll Venmo
Who else's
somebody.
fault would it be?
Stingley.
Who
in the last
fault would it be? Who else's fault would that be?
Hey,
I know. I said that already. You don't have to say
Desmond
the
Watson
false
is the
off-
largest person in the NFL, although he is not active. So Trent Brown at 380 pounds, he's the largest active
How much
player.
does Calais Campbell go these days? Not anywhere close to 380. I know that,
like
but he's 6'9"-ish.
No, but 310 is what I would get. 300 maybe on him. Like this
Max Starks, there was an offensive lineman who was about a 6'8", 350 type.
So
but that's about it.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2026 is already getting off to an incredible start, because you want to know how I rang in the new year? It was with a bunch of friends in a Dallas hotel lobby bar ordering a bunch of Miller Lights, because that's how you do it. That's how you make special memories. Miller Lite has been by my side at many special football memories this year, and hopefully we get to write a few more memories with Miller Lite. Some of my most legendary moments have started that exact same way. A buddy's house, a lobby bar, a game, no big plan. And then you crack open a Miller Lite, you take a sip, and you look around, and you immediately recognize that you made the right call. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Don Le Batard.
John, Can you rate my Al Pacino from that billiard scene in Carlito's Way if I do it for you? I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stugotz.
You think you're big time? Well, you're gonna die! Big time!
That is on my infamous scale of 1 to 10. That's a 7.6.
Solid.
Good job.
Dad.
Good job, Dad. Good job. That's a Suey nominee right there.
Good.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Among the things being talked about in the NFL today, McDermott has been fired. What comes in second place to Josh Allen? Now, Damashek was mentioning the officiating, which I guess we can do that almost any weekend, right? Because if the games are all going to be close, right? If they're all going to be ridiculously close, there are any number of calls at any point in the game. We could do it every single game. We could complain about the subjective thing that was unfair because the game was decided by some sort of old person's judgment. But the call from the weekend that everyone's talking about is that Brandin Cooks, it felt like he caught that ball, and you have rarely seen an interception that way, correct? Where you have the catch, you think it's a catch, but you know that by the letter of the law, you have to complete the catch. That's a rule. Like, that would have been a catch 7 years ago. 7 years ago, there's not the complete the catch stuff and all this stuff that confused us about, we've been saying for years, I don't know what a catch is. Now I don't know what an interception is, because that in my lifetime has never been an interception.
Why didn't they review it?
I mean, the rule is the rule. They got it right by the letter of the rule. To me, though, there's no point in having judges if all they're going to do is go by the letter of the rule.
That's what people are vexed by those as. It was the lack of stopping down. We're so conditioned to the process, having further review in New York weighing in and all the rest of it. But ultimately, Dan's right. I don't understand these people. First of all, people talking into microphones on purpose and sharing stills of, look at this spot, he has the ball. Well, that's irrelevant. It's a rolling play, and as the rule is stated, whether you like it or not, he has to complete the catch to the ground. And so by definition, if the ball jostles as he collides with the ground, which it did, the ball is live.
Oh, did it jostle? I mean, I couldn't tell.
I don't think you could tell either way. It was just like
that's
unsure.
why I wanted some kind of review.
I get the desire to, based on how we, like I say, have been conditioned over the last several years to see further review, but I do think they ultimately got that right. The ball is live as the DB rolls over and comes up with the ball. Yeah, it is home team's ball.
The call was right. You can't overturn it after it's been called an interception either. Barnwell and Dominique have both talked about this. They got the call right, but it still feels wrong. Like, that's what happened there. And I don't think it's because people are rooting for Josh Allen. I don't think it's because the Bills are crying in the locker room. I just think that over the course of your lifetime, you are not used to two people landing on the floor with the ball and then the defensive guy gets up with it and it's not the offensive guy's possession. Like, over the course of history watching football, if you're doing it in your backyard, anybody's been playing football, once you land on the ground with the ball, they can't take it away from you. Like, that's the part that is a bit baffling, that the rule makers have it right when they say the rule was followed justly. But you'll never be able to convince Bills fans of that, and you won't be able to convince me of it either, because I really don't. We don't have judges just to enforce rules. We have them to interpret them.
Agree, but the bottom line is, Dan, you think that should have been Bill's ball?
I do. I do think that should have been a catch where it landed, and it can't be an interception. You can't have the season decided that way. And in fact, I don't think if it had gone the other way, I don't think
that would have decided the season against the Broncos.
I know, but I don't think if it had gone the other way, I think the outrage would be less from Bronco fans and America if it had been called a catch.
Yeah.
And not an interception. I think Broncos fans wouldn't be talking today the way Bills fans are if it had simply been a catch. I think it would have been less controversial the other way.
Absolutely.
How does that make sense? Who does that make sense to? How does it make sense to anybody listening to this that if I had ruled that a catch, Broncos fans would be less upset than Bills fans are today?
Well, that is a fascinating point that I hadn't really considered, that if you do it the other, but now you're depending upon the official in that moment to just reverse the call. I also think the thing that people are vexed by largely, and there's no way around it, is that the officials are going to play a role in this, and you can go back several minutes prior. It looks like there's a hold in the end zone that would have also ended the game too. And if, to your point, Dan, if the Bills win the game on that deep ball to Cooks, they kick the field goal, they move on. Now, the Broncos fans would have spent the last 2 days belly aching about that. That's a safety, and they didn't call it because they didn't have the balls to call it and end the playoff game on a safety on an offensive holding.
It's true. I mean, I remember watching it live on that play and thinking to myself, that looks like a hold. And the only way they're going to call that to have the game end on a safety, someone is going to have to get murdered in the end zone.
Not even then. The officials would absolutely not rule it murder, and there would be a dead person on the field in the end zone, and the officials would not make a ruling there. Is that Tony's music I hear? Is that what's happening right there? All right, that is Tony's music. He is at La Casa de los Trucos. He already told us what La Casa de los Trucos is. It is the most famous and longest-standing costume shop in South Florida history. Is it open? I was told that it is opening at 10 a.m. today for you, but you're standing outside.
Yeah, Dano, it is open. It is 10:10 right now on the East Coast. I'm finishing my café con leche. We have a couple patrons already walked in. We've gone before and we've done the advanced scouting and we are able to go inside. I was just waiting on you to let you know if you wanted me to do my top 5 out here or if you wanted me to do my top 5
I want your top 5 inside. I want your top 5 inside, but I would like you to interview Rose real quick about her chain smoking and the fact
that's great. That's incredible. Rose isn't here, so I love that. Okay. Last week would have been great for that. She's not here, though. So I've got Danny B and I've got Sean McGill. If you want to interview them about Rose's chain smoking.
We'll get Rose here. Damashek, would you do me the favor of just going to get Rose and putting her next to Lucy and all of her cigarette smells so that I could get to the bottom of that? But yes, I'd prefer the top 5 from inside La Casa de los Trucos. Should we wait for you or do you just want to go in there? You want us to interview Rose and filibuster while you're going in there or do you just want to take the show from here?
Yeah, let's do that. No, let's do that for a second, just you guys, so I can make sure everything's cool in there and then get things rolling. So come back to us in about 2 minutes.
All right. Rose, you seem to have knocked over a tree while you were in there. You're a bit of a smoking disaster. You've gotten our employees sick. You cannot generally be trusted to not blow smoke in the face of others. We all learned together, except for Lucy, that you were a chain smoker. Rose, why did you get Lucy sick? Were you partying too much? Does this happen when you have too many drinks?
Yes, I can count it with my hands the times that I smoke. So Mally was here and he's a bad influence. So it was not just my fault. Sorry, Mally.
Mally's a bad influence.
Mally was here.
Mike Mally.
And I want the record stated. She said she can count on one hand the amount of time. Like, she doesn't do this a lot. She's not a chain smoker all the time, but every once in a while.
No, I don't. I just smoke when I have when I'm partying. Yes.
Yeah.
How many heaters did you rip? Because you were accused of chain smoking, and the bar establishment was saying, "Please get control of your friend."
Over under 15.
She's blowing smoke in everyone's face. Lucy said you embarrassed her.
I don't know. I did not count them. It was a good amount.
And how many drinks do you have before the chain smoking starts?
I don't know. I'm
She produces the hockey show. She is Rose, and she's going to have to leave now because she can't answer I don't know to questions only she knows the answer to.
No, because I don't know. Well, okay, 2. 2.5.
Track, 2? That's what happens on one of those nights. You don't know how many drinks you had. Let her off the hook.
2.5. So yeah, that was me, and then I got everybody blaming me that it was my fault for other days. Just because Lucy said that it was my fault, so I have the entire office saying it's my fault.
Okay, you did blow the smoke into my face.
Yeah,
you also left at one point to get a new pack of cigarettes.
Yes, that did also happen.
You went and bought. Wait a minute, that area doesn't. You were at Las Rosas. That area. How far did you go? That area doesn't have. Like you got to walk a ways in order to find cigarettes over there.
I became friends with the guy outside. I'm like, hey, remember my face? I'm just gonna go somewhere in there. It was very close. I went there, and this lady was very happy to see me and gave me my cigarettes.
Thank you, Rose.
This was a rare occasion. Rose is very well behaved.
Yep.
She just happened to, the only week I really have to talk a lot, make me lose my voice.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, see you later. In fact, let me just punish you.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes for adding nothing.
Wow.
Zaslow, what are you looking forward to tonight? Because I don't see a circumstance under which it's not interesting. It might be low scoring, and it might be dull to some people because there's going to be a lot of smash mouth involved, not going to be high-tempo offenses. I don't think Mendoza is going to be able to do the things that he normally does.
I'm looking forward to the moment. Like it's why we love sports. And the Canes fan got one of those moments in the last game with Carson Beck running into the end zone.
They got one against Ohio State, too, with Scott and the pick six.
And I want to feel it again. I want to feel it again. It's why we love sports. So I'm just excited for the potential of having another moment tonight in what could be a forever night. It really is. This is what I don't think I'm overstating this. I had to think of understate, overstate. I don't think I'm overstating this, Dan. This is one of the biggest nights in the history of South Florida when it comes to sports, because not only is it the Hurricanes mean a lot to this city, but it's at home for the national championship. And it's as an underdog, a significant underdog. This has potential to be one of the greatest nights of our lives as a sports fan down here. So
it's going to be for somebody, either Miami or Indiana. This will be.
You guys cannot, I just have to keep saying it, not to be a curmudgeon. You know right now in your hearts and your guts which side you're rooting for. I do not want to hear at the end of the night, hey, Cuban hero, prodigal son, Fernando got one.
You're
That's
so going to do that
too.
tomorrow. That's my guy.
Not acceptable. You're not. Your heart and gut will disagree with what your brain tells you at the end of the game, and if that's what your mouth is saying, shame the devil. I'm with you, Zaz, and I think it's vaguely a shame. I have to say sincerely that the story of the U, that the national championship game happens to be in their home stadium, and it's kind of playing as an afterthought. I do think that could provide a little chip on the shoulder, as guys like to have before a big game. That might be a little extra juice. No one is talking about us, and I can't help Dan to harken back to 43 years ago. The greatest college football game of all time was when Kosar, Schnellenberger, and the U vanquished the red and white team, number one with the Heisman Trophy winner.
There's no other way to cut him off.
A lot of yammers. A lot of yammers there between Zaslow and between Damashek. Damn. I did want to bring this to your attention. Do you want me to get you this netted shirt for you to wear on the show tonight? Please. Is that something you'd be interested in?
$19.99 sounds like my price right there.
$18.99. I can probably get him to lower it a little bit.
Oh,
the hometown discount.
Oh, really?
I'll just tell her I'm Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, I'll tell her I'm Fernando Mendoza.
I thought you were saying you used to dress like that in 1999, which would be a revelation, Dan.
Last time you fit into that shirt.
Give us your top five. Don't fat shame me, Zaslow. Do not do it. You're not looking so good in that soda drinker's body and that Luther Campbell gear over there. And people are commenting on how you looked in that undershirt in Guayabera last week.
Jeremy fed me that line.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. He was not accountable at all.
Throw him under the bus.
Tony,
what the hell is that?
Tony, hold on a second. Hold on. Because I'm up against the break here, turn down his music. It's just something that we did for a second to shut up Damashek. We'll come back to you. We'll lead the next segment so that you have enough room. I want to get your football top five.
Thank you.
I don't want to give you 50 seconds in order to do what it is that you do. So we will come back in a second to you.
Rose has located some cigarettes, apparently.
Yeah, she evidently has. That's good to see. I'm glad that she is again chain smoking. So real quick here, though, I did love last night. My favorite part of the late game was Tony Dungy just screaming at anyone who will listen, forget the analytics. Kick the field goals. Somebody kick the field goals. Stop going for it on 4th and short. It was like watching a dinosaur become extinct on Sunday Night Football in America.
Happy New Year, everybody. 2026 is already getting off to an incredible start, because you want to know how I rang in the new year? It was with a bunch of friends in a Dallas hotel lobby bar ordering a bunch of Miller Lights, because that's how you do it. That's how you make special memories. Miller Lite has been by my side at many special football memories this year, and hopefully we get to write a few more memories with Miller Lite. Some of my most legendary moments have started that exact same way. A buddy's house, a lobby bar, a game, no big plan. And then you crack open a Miller Lite, you take a sip, and you look around, and you immediately recognize that you made the right call. Legendary moments start with Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.